You're listening to KSG podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about the National Logistics Policy. Source for the content is DNA. Prime Minister had a jam-packed schedule on his birthday on 17th of September 2022 when he participated in the launch of a total of 4 programs, most notable of which was Project Cheetah. One of the programs launched on the day was the National Logistics Policy 2022. Lauding the launch of the new scheme, industry leaders said that the national logistics policy launched by Prime Minister will ensure seamless movement of goods and significantly lower transportation costs. The National Logistics Policy 2022 is also aimed at reducing the reliance on road travel and opening the pathways to air and water travel, reducing the cost of logistics in India considerably and making domestic trade and international trade more economical eventually. Now, what is the National Logistics Policy 2022? Logistical costs are a major chunk of the country's GDP but are essential to keep up in view of trade and markets. Currently, logistical costs amount to around 13 to 14% of India's GDP, putting a major dent in the finances. Logistics include facilities such as the transportation services required for a trade, such as moving and transporting goods, providing storage facilities for perishables, and proving the smooth functioning of government services. A comprehensive action plan, integration of logistics related digital systems, and an online mechanism for secure exchange of documents are key elements of the National Logistics Policy that was released by Prime Minister on the 17th of September. The three main targets of the National Logistics Policy 2022 are reducing logistics costs in India to be comparable to global benchmarks by 2030, the effort to bring India among the top 20 nations by 2030 in the Logistics Performance Index ranking, creating a data driven decision support mechanism for an efficient logistics ecosystem. The vision is to develop a technologically enabled, integrated, cost efficient, resilient, and sustainable logistics ecosystem in the country for accelerated growth. The policy aims at reducing the logistics cost from about 13% of GDP to 7.5% of GDP and generate jobs in the coming years. The national logistics policy will be reducing costs of trade and other transportation elements drastically, with other parameters like harmonization and standardization, trade and transport facilitation, digitization, and skill development on its agenda. The proposed plan of the national logistics policy includes integrated digital logistics systems, standardization of physical assets, and benchmarking service quality standards, state engagement, human resource development and capacity building, export import logistics, sectoral plans for efficient logistics, and facilitation of the development of logistics parks. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSJ India courses and to crack the IS exam, visit ksjindia.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksjindia.com. Thanks for listening and do subscribe to our channel.